Hey friends, how's everybody doing? Time for a video. Yes, time for a video. Let's talk. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Tomorrow is the Fed meeting. And I think the market is expecting a 25 basis point hike. Although if you look at the Fed Watch tool on the CME, that is showing a 99.6% probability of 100 to 125. So it could stay at 100, it could stay where it is, or it could go up to 125. I happen to think that a rate hike, 25 basis points, would be a little bit on the surprise side of things. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm not worried about it. We will get the zombie reaction. The zombie reaction, if they hike rates, you probably get a little bit of a sell-off in gold. You probably get a dollar bounce. You got to fade those moves. Stocks, just judging by the recent behavior of stocks, it'll probably be, a quick sell-off and then a buying opportunity. Let's talk about stocks. Let's talk about stocks. First of all, before I get into stocks, I want to just mention a little bit about language and framing. You know, I've spoken about this in the past. Sometimes I get emails from some of you. It's like, oh, Mike, this is not working out. This is never going to happen. The market's tanking, or it's the unrelenting bull. So the language is framing it. And, that might be, to some people, to many people actually, that might be a proper way to frame it. But you have to frame it in accordance with the way it is going to end up making you feel. Okay, if let's say you're short the S&P like I am, right? And you're saying things to yourself like unrelenting bull and methinks, and it's just a melt up. If you're using this kind of language, then obviously, you are going to make yourself feel terrible. I mean, you have a choice as to how you frame it. You have a choice as to how you make yourself feel. Now, I'm not saying just the choice of language is necessarily going to make you feel better. If you say, well, things eventually correct, that might not help you feel much better, because you might be looking at your portfolio thinking, oh, yeah, well, I'm still down or whatever. But saying this is terrible, this is horrible, that will make you feel worse. So you have a choice of making yourself feel worse for no reason, unless you're a masochist, or you have the option of using different language and a different way of framing it to at least not make yourself feel worse. That's the whole thing. The whole part about mental game is to constantly assess your emotional state and to do whatever it is you can do to keep you in a neutral, non-emotional state. Okay, you never want to get too high and everything's fantastic and great and wonderful, and you never want to get too low like it's the end of the world, because it's not. So you have a choice of the language. Now, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm talking just from me personally, market, I'm short S&P. It's about 10% against me in my average position, okay? Which is, I mean, it's really, when you think about it, a 10% move, that's not the end of the world. But I go one step further. I say, I love this. It's fantastic. I want this. I want situations like this. I love situations like this. By the way, just as an aside, let me throw in that MMT Trader, we are long stocks. Okay? We are definitely long stocks, and the stocks we are long are doing very, very well. We took some profits last week. We have other stocks up 68, 70%. So those are doing very, very well. Okay, we have Forex positions that are doing very, very well. But I'm not even going to mention that, because that's going to sound like, making excuses, which I'm not. Here's what I want to say. For me personally, I'm not saying all of you have to do this. I'm not even saying that all of you want to do this. Many of you like to remain in a state of whatever, self-pity, or, oh my, the world is against me, and this is not working, and it's never going to work, and I'm going to switch to something else. I'm going to be a momentum trader. But, here's the thing about that. But let me just finish what I was going to say. For me personally, I love situations like this. I love situations like this when it gets really tough and you get that knot in your stomach. I love situations like this. I mean, I always come out of this stronger. I make a profit every single time. It's been 3 years since I had a loss. 3 years since I had a loss. And the only reason I had a loss 3 years ago, I said this, was because I abandoned my mental game in a moment of weakness. We're all human. It could happen. But when a situation like this comes along, frankly, it is fantastic. This to me is like running a marathon. It's like going to the gym at 4:30 in the morning, which is what I do. It's like pushing out extra reps. It's like making it. This is how the growth comes, all right? Now, in terms of wanting to abandon or give up or thinking, this doesn't work. And let me just say, I have a long history with behavior like this myself personally, where in the past, in the early part of my career, I'd have this system, I'd back test it, it was fantastic, I put it to work, it's going excellent, everything's going great, I'm making money, then all of a sudden it ends up getting into a rough patch. And as a result of that rough patch, I would either abandon the system or I'd make some changes in it, and voila, right after that, things back on track, it's going fantastic, it's going wonderful, and guess what? It enters another rough patch, and then I abandon that, I go to something else, and the behavior is repetitive, and it's a slow motion, or in some cases a fast motion self-sabotage into ruin, complete ruin. You can't do stuff like that. You can't do stuff like that. I wish I could tell you that there was the perfect system, that every single time it made you money and you never had to sweat and you never had to worry, and all you had to do was buy new highs and sell new lows and just do that, and your life was going to be hunky-dory and fantastic and wonderful and great and just awesome, fantastic. I wish I could tell you that. I'd be doing it, all right? I'd be doing it. But I went all through this. Been doing this a long time, longer than all of you, all right? Or most of you, anyway. I'm pretty sure all of you. You change course, you change direction. I've said this before, all these systems work. They all work. You could take a moving average. You could program a moving average and just, buy with the crossovers and sell with the crossovers, and that'll work. But people abandon it. Why do they lose money on it? They abandon it. It's not making enough for them. Or you get in a period where it's loss after loss after loss after loss after loss. You go to something else. Oh, that's working. Now the same thing repeats. Folks, it's all about sticking it out. I don't know how else to say it to you. I personally don't have any problem waiting. I don't know, like a lot of you, the impatience factor is like really, really incredible. And I think for a lot of you, the impatience factor is the thing. It is the thing that does you in. It is the thing. Now, you won't admit that, or maybe you won't understand that, and you'll blame it on something else. You blame it on MMT, or, I've gone off course, or not understanding what's going on, or it's an unrelenting bull, and that's just the way it is. It's always going to be an unrelenting bull, and that's just the way it is. So, you could think all those things, but that's not the reality. That's the reality you create in your mind, all right? And you could just as easily create a reality in your mind that says, this is a rough patch, and we slog through it, and we get out on the other side. We get stronger, we're tougher, we're more resilient, we have better mental game, we have mental toughness, we have everything. Nothing could knock us down. And really, all it's asking of you is just to wait, to sit there. It's hard for people to wait. We live in an impatient world. Everything's go, 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 go. You got to do something. You got to make money now. You got to, so, and then your friends are making money. They're popping the champagne. You feel like an idiot. You feel left out. You feel all sorry for yourself. So, these are thoughts that you create in your head. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I love all of you. I want everybody to have great success. Many of you I know will move on, and that's fine. I've said it before, and that's fine. I wish you all the best, and you're going to find something that's going to work for a while, and then it's going to the same thing. And I'll leave you off with a story. I remember the oil bull market from 2004 to 2008. Oil went from 30 up to 150. It went up every day. $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $90, $100, $110, $120, $130. It got, when it was 100, I thought it was crazy. When it was 120, I thought it was insane. There was no fundamental out there that was causing, they were saying the dollar's going down. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. The dollar's foreign exchange rate does not affect the supply of oil. All right? went to $150. Goldman said it was going to $200. All right. I knew people, they were shorting it, smart people. They were shorting it when I thought was a good level to short it. It kept going up every single day, unrelenting bull, up, up, up. Then they threw in the towel. They were disgusted. Some of them got long at 130, 140, 150. What happened? It crashed down to $30. And we're still only, what, at $46. All right. Well, 9 years has gone by. We're nowhere near that $150 anymore. So do what you got to do, people. Do what you got to do. I'm just telling you what the reality is. You can care for yourself. All right? You don't have to hurt yourself. You can care for yourself. You could treat yourself nice. You could talk to yourself in a way that's not going to make you feel more, worse than you already feel right now. That is your choice. Winning is a choice. Losing is a choice. Framing things in the way that you don't make yourself more miserable than you already are in your life, that's a choice. Those are all choices. Nobody's holding a gun to you. Quitting my service, going somewhere else, that's a choice. It's all choices. Very simple. The choice is yours. Bye.